Hi everyone, welcome to Utah Cyber Open Day live webinar. Thank you for joining us today. Before we start, let me introduce myself. I'm Sam from Utah Division of Program Promotion and moderator for today's webinar. From 8 August 2020 onwards, we're having Cyber Open Day daily from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. except for public holidays. Now, let me show you our video clip about Utah Cyber Open Day. Okay, besides Zoom as our main platform, if your friend and family would like to join us, we are live now in our Utah official Facebook page under Utah for You, so they can join us there. Our topic today is Faculty Preview, Faculty of Information Technology and Communication Technology. And our speaker today is Mr. Song. After our topic sharing, we're having a Q&A session. Please take note that if you have any question during the webinar, please click on the Q&A button below the screen and type your question there. So we can go through the question together later. The Q&A button is open throughout the webinar. However, due to limited time, we may only answer some selected questions. All right, now let's welcome our speaker of the day, Mr. Song.
Okay, thank you, Sam, for inviting me. I would like to share my screen now for the presentations. Okay, thank you, Sam, for inviting me for this webinar that is entitled Faculty Preview, Faculty of Information and Communication Technology. I'm Mr. Song Ching from Department of Information System. I work in Faculty of Information Communication Technology in University Tunku Abdul Rahman. Welcome to the webinar. But before I start, I would like to introduce what is the cyber world. Every day we need to use the computer in a digitized format to do business and transactions and everything. Without computer, we are not able to process the data to have the purchase. That's why in this economy, in the digital economy, we are data driven. We need to have a set of digital informations that is communicated over the communication network with the information shared across the internet. That's why the cyber world is expanding. Nowadays, we don't use the manual newspaper to read the news anymore. We tend to use the social media to get the news, and then we need to have the purchase using the platform like e-commerce, like Shopee, and all these things. It is keep expanding, and it change the people to communicate from one to each other to share the information easily across the network. Therefore, you can see that it transformed the organizations. That's why we are not more to the linear business anymore that create the products and then push the product people to consume. We are having the digital platform-based business. For example, we have the Amazon, Truvigo, eBay, Foodpanda. They are very interesting business because you can see that Uber, they have the largest taxi company, but they do not own the vehicles. Facebook, they have a lot of the owner, but the content created by the user itself. Alibaba, the world most retailer, but no inventory. Airbnb, the world accommodation provider, they don't have the real estates. That's why in the digital economy, we have the platform-based business related to ICT. It changed everything. That's why ICT is relevant nowadays world. Before that, nowadays, artificial intelligence is getting popular and popular. It derived from the machine learning. It mimics the human, how human to the machine to mimic human to operate without the human interventions. That's why with the event of the artificial intelligence introduced, we can have the automatic loan approval without having a bank officers. We have the parcel delivery sorting without having a postman really to direct it. And then we have the simple action goal predictions. That's why it is getting relevant artificials, the machine to mimic the human doing the task without the less human interventions. You can see that there's a many breakthrough to the artificial intelligence. We can have the self-driving car, and then we have the automatic chess Go player. That's why it is keep expanding. It is getting better and better artificial intelligence in the ICT world. Apart from that, Internet of Things from the ICT also is expanding. Nowadays, our equipment can communicate with the human and then can have the sensor to get the data from the user and the environment, and then can calibrate to give the best setting to the user from the equipment, the data acquired from the surrounding. That's why the cyber world is expanding and it keeps changing. That the past that keep relies just on the information system to share the informations only. That's why we are moving from the revolutions from third to fourth revolutions. The first, the second is the older revolutions, which happens in England. You still remember the spinning jenny? And in the past 10 years, we are in the third revolution. It is considered as advanced already. It is automated productions using the computers, IT system, and robotics. But it is not enough. Now we are moving to the fourth revolution, that is the autonomous decisions. That means you can have imagine a doctor can operate remotely using the machines and the computer, and the machines can operate the patient at another places. That's why this is the growth of the Industrial Revolution 4.0, and the machine can even interact with other machines without the human intervention with the artificial intelligence implemented in the robots. So you can see that, do you want to join the ICT Adventures? That's why it is not always related to programming. ICT is very vast. We have the multimedia, we have the network, we have the system, we have the website, we have the apps, and then we have the artificial intelligence, financial technology, digital economy. and very broad categories under ICT umbrella. That's why ICT is very important in the cyber world, because it is the fundamental for the infrastructures for us to exchange the data and informations in today's world. Today's business are data driven. Without the data, we cannot do anything. That's why ICT plays important role to disseminate the data and manipulate information through the communication network. That's why with the vast diverse of the field in ICT, that's why it makes a good career, not just for the programming. For instance, if you do not want to become a programmer, you can start up a IT tech company, and then you can create an apps. Even teenagers, we can hear the stories, they learn the programming and how to create the apps. They put it app store and they're able to become and make money by selling the apps. Okay, that's why you can start your own business easily. For example, you can develop your own apps and sell it to the Google Place. You can see that from here, the world best workplace in 2018, top 10 are from the information technologies. Apart from here, the organizations that you cannot see here, Google also considered as the best workplace, Facebook and others. That's why IT industry are getting relevant and day by day, because in every day without a computer, we cannot do anything. You can see that in the ICT field, not only related to the software jobs, we have the network, we have the system, we have the database administrator, and more to the hardware job. You can see that in the IT category itself, it has 2,000 jobs compared to the other categories. There's just only 100 only. That's why computer information technologies, you never unable to find jobs. We need more IT people now because ICT are expanding day by day nowadays. You can see that if you work gaining enough experience and gain enough the skills in the specific domain and specializations in ICT, you can earn up to average 9,000 as reported in this newspaper. That's why you can see that careers in ICTs. Don't think we just only involved in programmers. Yes, I do agree. The careers, the initial career ICT, we cannot run away from programming. As long you gain the skill work alone, you gain enough specializations and skills and managerial level, you can be a software engineers, system analyst, data administrator to overlook the project. You become a senior manager. And then you can work up until information system executive and up until chief technology officer. That is the highest career in ICT. So what are the best things you work in ICT career? It is very comfortable, it is in an air-conditioned place, and it is relative high pay. And then it is risky environment. You do not work in a hazardous machine. You do not worry the machine will fall on you. No, there's no such things. And then you can have a lot of opportunity work in overseas, especially if you get the project to develop a system and project infrastructures, ICT infrastructures overseas. That's why in ICT, you can expand and then you can meet and interact people around the globe, especially in the multinational companies. But one of the downside in ICT, you must up your knowledge. Okay, you must always able to handle the pressure, and you must always learn the new skill set. Okay, that's the downside of ICT. But overall, I can guarantee it is a good prospect of careers in today's world. So why ICT course? ICT course is okay. It have ranging from the technical, a lot of technical skills, and it is relevant, as I said before, of the artificial intelligence, and then we have the Internet of Things, we have the digital economy. We need a lot of IT people now in the workforce. That's why we have separated into two categories. The application IT is more focused on the software, whereas the engineering IT is focused more on the hardware itself. For example, the computer engineering focus on the chips and the design of the electronic board of the computer, whereas we need some of the programs, okay, to control of the machines, we need the software programmers. That is the application IT. It more focused on the software. The high and low, it does not mean it is low, not good. Okay, low, it means it more attached to the hardware level, and high level is more attached to the software level. So you can see that in FICT, we have 5 programs: application IT, we have the Bachelor of Computer Science, we have the Bachelor of Information System, and then we have the Information System Engineering. And then on the other hand, if you like to work more to the hardware, we have the Computer Engineering, and we have the Communication and Networking. That's more relevant to telecommunications, for example, DG, Maxis, all this, you can work all into this company. Apart from that, there's one more degree program that is located in Sungai Long under Lee Kong Chian, Faculty of Engineering Science. That is the Software Engineering, also under Application IT. So what are the differences between software engineering that is located in Sungai Long campus? The rest of it is in the in Kampa campus, such as the CN, CT, then computer networking, computer engineering, computer science, business information system, and information system engineering. So I can say that all the branches, for example, software engineering, computer network, computer engineering, information system engineering, and business informations, all are the specializations from the computer science. Computer science is the fundamental of computing in this one. Okay, it's the fundamental. That's why you have to have a strong knowledge in programming and mathematics. That's why minor mathematics. Software engineering also have to be good in programming. It's a specialization from the computer science. It teaches you step by step how to create the software. We need to have the steps and follow the schedules and all this to adhere the guidelines, and we will teach that, okay, in the software engineering. Whereas for the communication networking, we need to have the communications to share the data. It's more or less to the telecommunications. And then for the computer engineering, it's more to the chip design and then electronic board for the computers. Whereas for the information system engineering, it more or less to the system development to take care of the data that is stored in the database. And then business information, this one, it is a minor in business. It is a half IT and half business. Before we want to map the whole process, you must understand the business process before to map it in the computer system. Therefore, the IB people will be suitable for it. So that's the comparison of the programs that I mentioned. That's why you study FICT or study in Utah, because you can see that our students are very keen and very good in the programming, and they always get the awards and also won a lot of the competitions such as the National Programming Contest. And also, they also win the cybersecurity competitions and also networking competitions, not just only programming. The other fields, our students are able to win the award. Other than that, we have the collaborations with the multinational companies, which is very relevant to the industry. Whatever our syllabus, we need to have the opinions from the industry. We need to update what is new from the industry. That's why this is very conducive. You can see that our FICT labs not ranging on the multimedia for the iLab Mac laboratory. We also have the database lab such as the enterprise system, and then we have the telecommunication networking such as the Cisco, Huawei, and then we have the computer engineering for the Intel microprocessor lab. And nowadays we have the IoT laboratory. This is the new lab that has just recently launched in FICT. Also, you can see that it is market driven. So we have the industrial panel. We always look and update our syllabus. anything relevant to the newer technologies we included, such as example, we can see that some of the syllabus subjects incorporated in our IT course, such as the data science, that is a big data, that is a very important now. And then we have the deep learning for the data science under the artificial intelligence. And then we have the business analytics, okay, to find whether we like the products, do the analytics. And then we have the graphic programming for mobile. And then lastly, we have the software testing. That's why our programs are market driven, okay? It's carefully designed for the market, what is demanded by the industry. Okay, the teaching approach in FICT Utah still the same. We have the lectures for all the programs. If it is a practical place like the programming, they need to go to the lab. And we have the only 20 people, one lecturer focus, 20 students only for the practical, for them to build up their technical skills on the programming and other technical subjects for the computer. For the theoretical subjects, we have the tutorial as well, okay? We have the 20 to 30 students in a smaller scale. We discuss the questions and guide exercise based on the course material. So after they have gained enough knowledge, then we have to undergo industrial training, okay? It will supervised by the industrial attachment, okay, to practice the skill and learn new skill in the industry. Apart from that, they need to do one final year project. Final year project as the prerequisite for them to be able to graduate. So for the industrial training, we have the 6 program required for the 2 weeks industrial. They need to place under the industry, either locally or overseas. So you can see that for the final year projects, after they acquired enough knowledge, they need to build a project, okay, that is really similar to the industry. And we have the supervisor from the academic staff to help them to develop a project based on the knowledge acquired study for the 2 to 3 years in Utah. Apart from that, TRIZ is a problem-solving method. We can have some to learn how to solve the problem creatively. There are steps, we call it TRIZ. We also incorporate these TRIZ into our curriculum. So to enhance our students to have the critical and creative thinking of the students. You can see that our external examiners of FICT all are professor levels, and all the programs and all the reputable or renowned universities such as the Queensland, National Chiao Tung, Carleton, Deakin, and National University of Singapore. Apart from that, you can see that our industry advisor panel, they are all very, they have a lot of the knowledge and experience in the industry. You can see that they are all from the senior managers in the reputable company. And also we have the collaborations with the multinational companies such as the Oracle, Microsoft, Cisco, Google for the projects and also for the certifications for the students. And such as the eGenting, Intel, Cyber Care Project, SAS, and Uni Asia Life. So when you study in FICT Utah, you don't have to worry. It is accredited and approved by the Ministry of Higher Education, and it is accredited by the Malaysian Qualification Agency and Public Service Department. So when it is recognized, you can further your studies in the IPTA. That means the local, the government university, and you can work in the government agency. That's why don't worry. Our 5-degree course receive full accreditations from Lembaga Akreditasi Negara. And it is also recognized by JPA. So why it is important to be recognized in JPA? Because you can further your career choice to be employed in the government department and statutory body. For example, Treasury, Inland Revenue Department, Tourism Board, Fishery, all ministry, EPF, Bank Negara, and all the government departments. You can work there without any problems. So if you have any questions, we have 3 departments in Faculty Information Communication Technology. The head of departments for the computer science, that is the technologist, Dr. Ubunyik. You can email him if you want to have the more about the the questions about the course for computer science. If you wish to know more about the system information engineering and business information system, you can contact Technologist Dr. Rehan Akbar from the Department of Information System. So if you wish to know more about the communications and computer technologies, you can contact Technologist Dr. Wasaki Anak Perempuan Pondosami. So if you want to wish to know more about software engineering, there's another course in Sungai Long. It is the head of department from Technologist Dr. Madawan Analaki Palanai, that is the Faculty of Engineering of Science in Sungai Long campus. So Bill Gates always says, you cannot go wrong in computer science. Bill Gates by himself is a very reputable. So that's all for my presentations, and I would like to pass it back to Sam.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Song.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, dear participants, kindly fill in the evaluation form that I put in the chat box there. This evaluation form is used to improve our future webinar. Okay. So currently we are open for the question. So okay, Mr. Song, I have a question for you. Can I know that what are the job prospects in ICT? Only as programmer or we have other choices?
So this is a good question. Always a student asks me when I go up with the computer science degree, is it always programming? No, you can see that the ICT is a very broad category. For example, when you want to transmit one data from another one place, we need to digitize the information first. Okay, we need to have the multimedia people to do the apps, and then we need to create the pictures and all these content creations. We need to have the multimedia people, and then we need to have the apps developer, and also we need to have the all the website creator, okay, website administrator and website design, and to create the website for them to share the disseminate informations. So how it is transmitted from the informations to another place, we need another set of ICT people. We need to have the computer networking people, and to manage all the telecommunications, the router, the modem, the setting, in order to transmit the data to another places. So the data needs to be stored at one place and must be processed in a system. So we need to have another people, we call it as the database administrator and database people, to take care and process the informations at one place. So that's why you can see that ICT is very broad. Okay, nowadays even more new jobs coming in. We have the big data analysts, okay, the big data. We have the analytics to analyze the data, and then we have some the artificial intelligence, okay, all the people, and then we have the digital economy. A lot of new things, okay, we have incorporated in ICT, and there's a very, I can tell you, very diverse in ICT. Okay.
Wow, really impressed, Mr. Song.
Yes.
Okay, so how about if let's say, is there any professional body for ICT or computer science that recognize?
Yes, we have the professional bodies such as, do you notice the TS in front, such as my name in front and my HOD? We have the Malaysian Board of Technologies. It's also one of the professional bodies for the ICT can join. And also they can join all those, the IEEE, okay, IEEE and SCM. There's a lot of the computing technologies, okay, they can join. Okay, if you join the Malaysian Board of Technologies, for example, you can acquire the title technologies in front. This is one of the example of the professional bodies you can join.
I see, Mr. Song. So if let's say for a student who graduate from the IT 11, so
Yes.
that they can able to join for those professional bodies, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
understand that. Okay, for my next question is, Shall I further my study in Master of PhD in Computer Science to secure my future career?
Okay,
Is it
this is
true?
one of the very good questions. So if you want to join the academic line, it a must to get the PhD in computer science. But if you want to work in the industry, you do not want to be academicians, you can still can be consultant if you acquired master or PhD in computer science. But if you wish to get more technical skills, it is better to get the professional certificates. Okay, professional certificates to enhance the skill. But if you want to be a consultant, to be a researcher in the academic and the industry, then it is recommended to further master and PhD in computer science, which FICT offered these courses.
Okay, Mr. Song. So, I have one career, sir. If let's say, why business need to combine with IT as the multidisciplinary field in essential nowadays?
You can see that nowadays in every purchase, in everything, in the economy, we need to have a computer, okay, to process all the data, this one. That's why ICT cannot sit alone, especially it helps the IT, the business, to do their, how to do the business in the economy. So that's why there are new term coming out. There's a new trend in the ICT, we call that digital economy. The usage of the computers and digitized informations to do business. That's why ICT does not stand alone. It can combine with another field such as the biotech, the health, and then with other fields to make it even more better to help them the field to process the data.
I see, Mr. Song. So, nowadays, you see the lots of the AI technology are keeping on coming in. So, is it will secure the human to get a job, or instead the job will replaced by AI?
So don't worry, okay? As last time we have worried that the spinning genie in England will replace the workers to make the clothes. So it's not worry, it will transform a older job to newer jobs. You can see that nowadays we can have the influencer, okay? Influencer to take the YouTube video, and then we have the social media managers. Okay, there's a new terms in the ICT social media, chief social media officer, okay, to manage all this. That's why it will not replace them and then they will not go jobless. They will change them to another job scope that falls under the new categories.
I see, Mr. Song. Okay, so recently I had attended a conference related about the ICT. A professor he told one thing, he said that nowadays they are the children, the young baby,
Okay.
when they're born, currently the job are haven't created yet. So is that true for you? How do you think?
It's true. Yeah, it's very good start from young lah. Start from young. Even now, schools, primary schools, secondary schools, they are IT courses and already implemented in several countries. That's why it is never always go wrong, such as the Microsoft Bill Gates to take up the programming courses during the primary and secondary schools. When you join our computer program, then is very much easier to study, and then you can even go for the certifications, okay, to have to be certified. Okay.
Sound interesting. Okay, I saw in the chat box that a lot of the participants are interested with the collaboration Utah between the Huawei. Can you little bit explain between their collaboration?
We have the understand, okay, MOU signed with the Huawei. Usually when we have the the career, FIC career, will invite the Huawei people to give the talks and then to give the guest lectures. And then they also come and get our students' resume, and Huawei hire a lot Utah students. Okay, Utah students from ICTs, not only ICTs and other faculties as well.
Okay. So one more question for my own self. I heard that they say FICT collaborate with Intel also with the
Yes.
AI certificate, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So I would like to know more about this one.
Actually, we have each lecturer assigned to have the collaborations with the industry. For the Intel, they need to approach the lecturers that is assigned. He or she will collaborate with the company, and then they will get the details of the exams, everything, and then can share it to the students. And then our lecturers are able to guide the student as well.
Wow, that really help a lot of the future
Yes.
students. Okay. So how is like the industry feel current for what is the common programming they are using for current industry, such like Python or Java or even that the Ruby or SQL?
Actually, there has two part where we have the web development or web scriptings. For the server side, we can have the free version. There's the PHP, and then we have the Java, JSP, or .NET, the Microsoft one. But for the programming language, Java still the top, and Python is gaining popularity. Yes. And then we have the new course for the Python programming is already will be launched, okay, in FSCT. Java still is the top, but Python is gaining popularity.
Yes, I understand that the Python are getting on hotter right now,
Yes,
right?
yes, it's gaining
Okay.
popularity.
So for currently, any question for the participants? We're still open for the Q&A. Okay, so while waiting, I would like to know more about Mr. Song. How about the overseas student when they come here? Is
Okay.
there any what we call the technology gap between the Malaysian and the overseas country?
Actually, is roughly the same because information and knowledge it is shared across the academia and universities. It just depends on the implementation from the government side in each of the country. Yeah.
I see. So basically, no any gap for between
Yes, no
our
gap because
technology.
the technologies, all these academic and all this knowledge are shared between the universities.
Okay, for myself, I actually is a communication networking background. So I
Okay.
would like to know more about the cybersecurity. Which program are more relevant in Utah?
Cybersecurity is actually computer networking adopts a minor in security. So that's why if you want to more about security, I, uh, I advise you to take communication networking. Yeah.
Okay. So far, may I know how many students currently are pursuing in Utah under FICT?
Under FICT, we have nearing 1,000. Yeah, that's a lot,
Okay.
including first year, second, third year. Yeah.
Second, third year. Okay, really great. Okay, we have a student from overseas, Daniel.
Okay.
Okay,
Hello, Daniel.
asking about, do you enroll international student and they have any scholarship that provide to the international student?
Actually, we have the scholarship. You need to refer the Department of Exam and Scholarships. We do have the scholarships, and then we do encourage the international students. And then we currently have Chinese students, and then we have also African students from Kenya, and also we have the Arab students, and also last time I taught Myanmar students also. Yeah, we do encourage international students to study here. For the scholarship, you need to refer to Department of Exam and Scholarships. There are many scholarships there.
Okay, Daniel, so did you hear that about? So if you have any inquiry, please come to visit us anymore. Okay, so for current student, is there have any collaboration for the training or the internship for the country or even the company that very strong elaborating?
Sure, sure. The students can find and also work in and also place the internship locally or overseas. And then a lot of students, they manage to get multinational companies and reputed companies such as the Intel, and then such as the Silver Lake, and also Li and Fung. All those are the multinational and very reputable companies. So no problem for Utah students.
Okay, wow, really great sharing for you, Mr. Song. Okay, we have another question. Okay, so Daniel is from Kenya. So what about student visa? Okay, normally for international student, right? Yes, student visa we are able to help, but this one are not in our topics today's here. So Daniel, please email to us later. Is it okay? Okay, so any question from the participant? Okay, sound like it's almost end of days. Okay. Okay, thank you, Mr. Song, for the wonderful sharing today. Okay, last but not the least, today's webinar will be recorded and posted at our Utah official Facebook page, Utah for You, and YouTube channel. For further inquiry, you may contact us through live chat, Facebook, WeChat, WhatsApp, and emails. Our upcoming webinar will be Program Preview, Utah Foundation Programs by Mr. Chun Min Wai. Thank you for joining us today and have a nice day.